The phone rang at 9:17 a.m. I almost ignored it, because the caller ID just said, unknown number. Then the man on the other end said 5 words that made my stomach drop straight through the floor. "Sir, I have your father's watch." Not a watch. My dad's watch. The one I watched him wind every Sunday morning. The one I buried him with, or at least I thought I did. And that's when I realized something terrifying. Someone in my own family didn't just betray me. They sold my dead father's memory for cash. And they never expected the pawn shop owner to call me. Before we go any further, if you've ever been underestimated, tell us in comments. My dad died when I was 24. Cancer. Fast. Ugly. Merciless. One day he was still correcting my posture when I shook his hand. The next I was standing in a hospital hallway that smelled like bleach and loss, holding paperwork that didn't feel real. My father wasn't rich. He wasn't flashy, but he had presence. And the most important thing he owned, the one thing he cherished, was a vintage Omega watch his own father had given him when he graduated college. He wore it every day. Scratched face, faded leather strap, but he treated it like it was priceless. When he passed, he left it to me. Not in a dramatic will-reading way, just quietly squeezing my hand and whispering, "Take care of it. It's not worth money. It's worth memory." After the funeral, life blurred. I moved back into my childhood home temporarily. That's where my stepmother Linda lived. And her son, my stepbrother Evan. Evan was 32 years old and allergic to responsibility. Always working on a business idea. Always just one loan away from success. Always failing, loudly, and blaming everyone else. I kept the watch in my dad's old dresser drawer, wrapped in cloth, hidden behind folded shirts that still smelled like him. For at least, I thought it was hidden. 3 months later, I went to get it. I wanted to wear it on my first big job interview since Dad died. Some weird way of feeling like he was still with me. I opened the drawer. I froze, checked again, pulled everything out. Shirts, socks, papers, nothing. My heart started pounding so hard it physically hurt. I walked straight into the kitchen where Linda was drinking coffee. "Where's Dad's watch?" She didn't even look up. Oh, Evan needed some startup money. It was just sitting there. I was sitting there. I felt heat rush to my face. "You sold it." He sighed like I was being dramatic. "It's a watch. Your father was gone. Evan needed help." That's when Evan walked in, smiling, relaxed, confident. "Relaxed man. It's for my business. I'll buy you another one." Another one. I swear something cracked inside my chest. "You sold my father's watch without asking me." Evan shrugged. "You weren't using it." That night I didn't sleep. I kept replaying my dad's voice, his hand on mine. That whisper. "It's worth memory." I wanted to scream, break something, punch a wall. Then said, I felt small, outnumbered, outmatched, living under their roof. They knew it. They thought that was the end of it. They thought grief made me weak. They were wrong. 3 weeks later, my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost ignored it. Thank God I didn't. The voice was calm, professional, older. "Sir, this is Mike from Harrison & Sons Pawn. I believe I have something that belongs to you." My throat went dry. "How would you know that?" He paused. "Because your father used to bring that watch in for servicing. He gave me your name and number years ago, just in case." I had to sit down. Mike continued. "A young man sold it to us. Didn't know the history. Didn't know it wasn't his." I closed my eyes. "Is it still there?" "Yes. And legally, it shouldn't have been sold." That's when Mike said the words that changed everything. "If you want it back, I'll help you. And I'll testify to everything." That was the moment. The moment grief turned into focus. I wasn't going to yell. I wasn't going to beg. I was going to outthink them. I met Mike that afternoon. He showed me the paperwork. Evan had signed it. Used his own ID. Sold property that wasn't his. That's called theft. I bought the watch back, temporarily. Mike smiled and said, "Now, what do you want to do next?" I documented everything. Receipts, statements, witness accounts. Then I quietly moved out. Didn't argue. Didn't confront. Let them feel safe. 2 weeks later, I filed a police report. Then a civil claim. Then the final touch. I contacted the investors Evan had been bragging about. Turns out, they really don't like doing business with thieves. The day the letter arrived, I was there. Front row. Evan opened it. Color drained from his face. What the hell is this? Linda started shouting, threatening, crying. I stayed calm. You sold stolen property. You committed fraud. And now everyone knows. Evan lost everything. His business. His investors. His reputation. And legally, he had to pay restitution. Every cent. With interest. I wore my dad's watch to court. When it was over, I sat in my car and cried. Not out of anger. Out of relief. Because justice finally showed up. Quietly. Exactly when it was needed. Here's the thing. Revenge isn't about hurting people. It's about drawing lines. Some things are sacred. Some memories are not for sale. And if someone crosses that line, make sure they remember it. This story hit you right in the chest. Hit that like button. Drop a comment. What's something you'd never forgive someone for selling? And if you want more stories where karma doesn't miss, subscribe. Trust me, the next one goes even harder.